Have you ever noticed that the calmest people are usually the ones who have been through the most? Not because life was gentle with them, but because they learned something most people never will. Yeah. In a world addicted to reacting, composure has become a superpower. Most people live at the mercy of whatever happens next. A rude message ruins the morning. A delayed flight ruins the week. A stranger's opinion ruins the year. They are not living their lives so much as being dragged through them. Because when your peace lives outside of you, anyone can walk away with it. But some people are different. They meet the same chaos and stay steady. 2,000 years ago, a group of philosophers built a system for exactly this. Not theory, not lectures. A practice meant to be used on ordinary Tuesdays by people with real problems. One of them was an emperor. One was a man born into slavery. One was an advisor who was eventually ordered to take his own life. They all arrived at the same conclusion. You cannot control the world. You can only control the person meeting it. Here are 12 lessons they left behind. 1. Focus on progress, not perfection. The Stoics were never trying to be perfect. They were trying to be slightly better than they were yesterday. This is the lesson most people skip, and it is the reason most people quit. They set an impossible standard, fail in the first week, and decide the whole thing wasn't for them. But perfection is not a goal. It is a way of hiding. If the standard is flawless, you never have to start. You can spend years preparing, planning, researching, waiting for the right moment, and never do the ordinary, unglamorous work that actually changes a life. Marcus Aurelius filled a private notebook with reminders to himself. The same reminders, over and over, for years. He was the most powerful man in the world, and he still had to tell himself every morning to get out of bed and stop being petty. That is the whole practice. Not transformation, repetition. Consistent progress always beats flawless intentions. 2. Separate what you control from what you don't. This is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. Epictetus taught that some things are within our power and some are not. Your effort, your judgment, your response, your character, yours. Other people's behavior, the economy, the weather, the past, your reputation, not yours. Almost all human misery comes from confusing the two. You suffer because you are trying to control something that was never yours and neglecting the one thing that always was. Ask a simple question when something goes wrong. Is this mine? If it is, act. If it isn't, let it go and stop paying rent on it. Most of your stress is not caused by your problems. It is caused by your grip. 3. It is not the event that hurts you. It is your judgment of it. 2 people lose the same job. One is destroyed, one is relieved. The event was identical. The suffering was not. The Stoics notice that between what happens and how we feel, there is a step we barely see. The story we tell about it. We call the event a disaster, and then we feel the way people feel during a disaster. Marcus Aurelius wrote it plainly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. You are not required to add commentary to everything that happens to you. Try removing it just once and watch how much lighter the event becomes. 4. Most of your suffering is imaginary. Seneca said we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Count the catastrophes you have lived through in your mind. Now count the ones that actually arrived. The gap between those two numbers is where most people spend their lives. Anxiety is not preparation. Preparation is preparation. Anxiety is rehearsal. Running the same disaster on a loop, paying the emotional price for it again and again for something that will most likely never happen. The Stoics had a practical alternative. Instead of vaguely dreading, they would sit down and calmly ask, what exactly is the worst outcome here? And then, could I survive it? The answer is almost always yes. Fear shrinks the moment you look at it directly. It only grows in the dark. 5. Adversity is training, not punishment. The world is not conspiring against you. It is not conspiring at all. Difficulty is simply the resistance that builds capacity the same way weight builds muscle. Nobody gets strong lifting nothing. Seneca argued that the person who has never met hardship is not lucky. They are untested. They walk through life without ever discovering what they are actually made of, and one day the world finds out for them. So when something breaks, ask a different question. Not, why is this happening to me? But, what is this asking me to become? Every obstacle contains a skill you don't have yet. That is not consolation. That is just how it works. 6. Love what happens. The Stoics called it amor fati, a love of fate, not resignation. Not pretending the bad thing is good. Something harder. Refusing to waste a single hour wishing the past had gone differently. Because it didn't, and it won't. You can argue with reality for the rest of your life, and reality will not adjust. The only thing that argument costs is you. The strongest people are not the ones who avoid loss. They are the ones who stop negotiating with what already happened, pick up whatever is left, and use it. Wanting what you have is a kind of wealth. Needing things to be otherwise is a kind of poverty. 7. Remember that you will die, memento mori. Not to frighten you, to wake you. Marcus Aurelius told himself to live as though he might leave life at any moment, and to let that shape everything he did and said. Death is not the tragedy. Postponement is. Waiting for the right year to start. Staying in a life you don't want because leaving is uncomfortable. Assuming there will be time for the important conversation, the real work, the person you meant to become. There is less time than you think, and none of it is guaranteed. But this is not a gloomy thought. It is the most clarifying thought available to a human being. It burns away everything trivial and leaves only what matters. You do not need more years. You need to stop wasting the ones you have. 8. Master your desires or they will master you. Modern life runs on manufactured wanting. More, newer, faster, louder. Every screen is designed to convince you that you are one purchase away from being complete. The Stoics saw the trap early. Wealth, they said, is not having a great deal. It is needing very little. They practiced voluntary discomfort deliberately, eating simply, sleeping rough, going without, not out of self-punishment, but for the freedom it produced. A man who has already tasted the worst has nothing left to be threatened with. Every desire you cannot control is a handle someone else can grab. Every comfort you cannot live without is a leash. Want less and watch how much of the world loses its power over you. 9. Other people's opinions are not your business. You will be misunderstood, criticized, underestimated, talked about by people who have never spoken to you. None of it touches the part of you that matters. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly that people would act badly and that their behavior said something about them and nothing about him. He did not expect the world to be full of good people. He simply refused to let bad ones change him. If praise can lift you, criticism can drop you. That is the same rope pulled from either end. Do the right thing. Let the reaction be whatever it is. The opinion of someone who does not carry your consequences was never worth this much of your attention. 10. Anger is weakness, wearing the mask of strength. Anger feels powerful. That is the deception. In reality, it is the moment you hand the controls to someone else. Whoever provoked you is now driving. You are just along for the ride, saying things you will spend weeks trying to take back. Seneca wrote an entire book on this, and his conclusion was simple. The harm anger does to you always exceeds the harm that caused it. The Stoic response is not suppression, it is delay. Wait, breathe, let the first wave pass because the first wave is always the stupidest. Then respond as the person you actually want to be. The one who stays calm is not weaker than the one who explodes. They are simply harder to move. 11. Be useful. This is the lesson the internet forgets. Stoicism is not a philosophy of retreat. It is not about becoming emotionless, ignoring people, or protecting your peace by removing everyone from your life. The Stoics believed human beings were made for each other, that we are limbs of the same body, and that turning against another person is like a hand refusing the arm. Justice was one of their 4 virtues, not the abstract kind, the daily kind. Show up, keep your word, do the work properly, treat people decently, especially those who can do nothing for you. Marcus Aurelius put it directly: waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Inner peace that helps nobody is just a comfortable form of hiding. 12. All you own is right now. The past is finished. The future has not been issued to you. The only thing you have ever actually held is this moment, and most people spend it somewhere else, replaying an old conversation, dreading a future one, half present in a life they keep meaning to start living. The Stoics kept returning to the present because it is the only place where anything can be done. You cannot act in yesterday. You cannot act in next year. You can only act here. And here is enough. One task, one breath, one decision made well. That is the entire life, arriving one moment at a time. The point of all of it. None of these lessons will make life easier. Life is not going to become easier. People will disappoint you. Plans will collapse. Things you love will end. That was always the arrangement. What changes is you, slowly, unspectacularly, in 100 small moments where you choose the harder, better response and no one notices. Remember this: being calm is not the same as being passive. Passivity is doing nothing because you feel powerless. Calm is doing exactly what is required because you know precisely where your power ends. Weak thinking waits for conditions to improve. Strong thinking improves the person meeting the conditions. So don't wait for a better life to begin practicing. Begin where you are, with what you have, today, imperfectly. Because the goal was never to become perfect. The goal was to become unshakable. Comfort produces opinions, but adversity produces philosophers.